So there are two small satsangs which I would like to share. First is that I raised my hand last week, and last week there were too many satsangs which I wanted to share, and I was asking Guruji, what do I share? How do I share? And I came back. I was on the balcony at that point of time. I came back to my room, and I saw a big Sai Pratima right above my TV, and Guruji clearly told me that the first satsang which I have to share is the Sai Satsang. So here I am sharing my satsang. So my Guruji ke saath journey started in 2016, but today I'm going to talk about my journey from August 2017 till today, and I'm going to be as quick as I can be, but I might take a little longer. So this is satsang about my mother. 2017 August, there was a mouth ulcer which was seen, and we went to the doctor. To cut the story short, they suspected that this is going to be cancerous, and the doctor in the first instance said, I am dead sure that it is a malignant cancerous growth, and we just have to do biopsy only for the heck of confirmation, but I am dead sure. And my mom was a staunch follower of Sai. I came out of the clinic and I said, Sai, you can't do this to your Bhagat. And this is not done. She can't take so much of pain because for last 1.5, 2 years, she was very, very sick and was taking enough medication. And, going to a doctor was like a once in a week story. And it was miserable for her. I said, Sai, you have to help. You can't just do that to mommy. And everything went on as per plan. I was blessed. We were blessed. And, 3 weeks, we went to another doctor and, he said there's nothing to worry about and, doesn't look like malignancy. She was on medication and 3 hafte mein, she was getting better and eventually she was off that medicine as well. And I said, wow, I have made a commitment to Sai and I have to go and visit Sai. Though I had a relationship with Guruji, but since mom had a connection with Sai so much so that she used to go to Sai's temple every evening and, whatever. So I said, okay, Sai, I'm going to come and thank you. But mommy ki tabiyat phir se kharab ho gayi and I just couldn't go. January 2018, on the 26th of January, I lost mom. And, she, I'm sure is in Guruji's Sharan and Sai's Sharan. But I was bad, I was devastated, whatever. But that commitment to Sai was in my head and I had to do it. And I was bad, miserable, whatever. But the only thing which I remembered was that, this is a commitment which was made on mom's, health and it has to be fulfilled somehow. And I started praying to Guruji for help and whatever. And then starts my satsang, June 2018. We said there is some break where I could go and meet Sai. So, हमने, flight की ticket देखनी शुरू करी and it was about 16,000 plus taxes. And of course stay and this and that. And it was turning out to be really expensive and about 27,000 rupees. I said, Bhagwan ji, kuch help kariye. Kuch to karna padega. This is turning out to be too expensive. And as luck would have it, I get a message from my, travel agent saying that Go Ibibo and Vistara and couple of other airlines have gone on sale. And the travel ticket, which was actually costing me 16,000 rupees plus taxes, was now at about 12,000 rupees. But I still thought that why do I spend so much of money? I again prayed. And believe you me, out of nowhere, I realized कि मैं सीधा Bombay क्यों नहीं चली जाती हूँ? And Bombay से मैं चली जाऊँगी science. So I said, wow, brilliant. And believe you me, I got my tickets at about 3,900 something to Bombay. And the next question was कि अब मैं कैसे जाऊँगी? From Bombay to Sai. I was in my office. I had my colleague right in front of me and he said, don't worry, I have a driver who will come and pick you up and he'll take you to Sai. I said, wow, thank you, Jai Guruji. And, the whole process started. I booked my ticket and here comes the next satsang. I reached the airport and the kiosk where the e-ticket the e-boarding pass had to be printed was not working. I was juggling, and I realized that this is not happening. So out of concern, I went to the hotel के बाहर एक office होता है. So I went to the office and I said, look, I've been trying, but I can't take my e-boarding pass. Can somebody help? So the gentleman said, where do you have to go? I said, I have to fly Bombay. So she said, oh, and ma'am, I'm sorry, we have stopped, taking any passenger any longer. You just can't go because we are ready to take off in some time. So we are ready to leave the, whatever the runway. I said, well, you can't do that to me. I have been, juggling, and I was maybe a little louder than my usual voice. And I saw a tall gentleman coming out of nowhere. He was a senior chap. I don't know what was he doing, at 5 o'clock in the morning at the airport. He says, madam, calm down. I will help you. And I was suddenly relieved because 3 minutes pehle tak to they were saying we will not be allowed, to board the flight. Jai Guruji. And then the gentleman said, ma'am, ab jo main aapko bolunga wo karna padega. I said, okay. He called a helper kind of a person who was, of course, with the airline and said, aap ma'am ko green channel se leke jaiye aur aircraft pe chhod ke aiye. I was like, wow. And he said, now ma'am, you have to only follow what we say. I said, yes, please. So he introduced me as, an official from the airline. There was a VVIP moment happening at 5 in the morning. There was some senior official from the government who was traveling. That was put on hold. I was made to cross all the security checks. Jai Guruji. I then was, feeling uncomfortable walking that path which this gentleman took. I said, भैया जी आप मुझे कहाँ से लेके जा रहे हो? कहते हैं मैम अगर हम नॉर्मल रास्ते से जाएंगे तो हमको 9 से 10 मिनट लगेगा. ये मैं आपको स्टाफ एंट्री से लेके जा रहा हूँ. हम 2.5 मिनट में पहुंच जाएंगे. And I was in the aircraft in next 2.5 minutes. And I entered the aircraft and darwaza band hua. Jai Guruji. And I was like, wow. He was, so this is a way where he was telling me that मैं अंग संग हूँ, I am there with you. Well, all beautiful, done, sorted. And then, we landed at the airport. Before my flight could just stop and I could switch on my phone, the driver was already there waiting for me to reach. And he said, ma'am, aap bas airport ke bahar aa jaiye and, turn right, turn left. My gari number is so and so, and I'm there waiting for you. So I said, okay, I have not checked in anything. So I should be out in next 5 minutes. So soon as I was out of the airport, I could, get the car, and I was in the car and we were on our way to city. And, out of concern, one of my friends had also deputed another friend to take care of me since I was traveling and I had lost mom, and everybody knew that, I was troubled and, not feeling very great. Even before I could enter city, the gentleman calls and says, ma'am, aap kidhar mein hai? Main to mandir ke bahar khade hoke aapka wait kar raha hu. I was like, he was right there with me, walking every mile, every step with me. And, I reached the mandir. He already had organized a pass for me. We were in the queue and one of my sisters has said कि right side वाली queue में रहना, right side वाली queue में रहना, because वहाँ पे ऐसा लगता है कि साईं तुम्हारी आँख में देख रहे हैं. So I said, okay. And I was in the right queue. I was with Sai right in the middle of the mandir, looking into his eye for 20 minutes and nobody asked me to move. वरना वहाँ पे लोग आधा मिनट के लिए खड़े होते थे और वहाँ के जो पुजारी जी होते थे, आगे बढ़िए, औरों को दर्शन करने दीजिए, आगे बढ़िए, औरों को दर्शन करने दीजिए. And nobody, not even a single person told me to move. I kept crying, I kept talking to Sai, and not even once I was told it was my decision to move out of the mandir. So Jai Guruji again. I mean, I could feel him there every minute, every minute. Then, we came out of the mandir and the gentleman said कि मैम हम आज ही शनि सिग्नापुर कर लेते हैं, कल आपकी फ्लाइट है वापस दिल्ली की. So we might as well do it today and not leave it for last minute, क्योंकि कल अगर आपको बाई चांस किसी कारण से लेट हो गया तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, आपका फ्लाइट मिस होने का चांस है. और हम तो अभी 1 बजे 1:30 बजे फ्री हो गए, हम तो फटाफट लंच करते हैं, 4 बजे भी अगर हम निकले, so we will be there. I said fair enough, sounds good. We left and रास्ते में हमारा गाड़ी खराब हो गया. We were in the middle of the road, a kacha road, and it was dark because we started at about 5 and थोड़ा सा अंधेरा होने लग गया था. And I was worried, shocked कि मैं बीच में सड़क में हूँ with the driver and this gentleman who I know barely for 5 hours, 4.5 hours जब से मैं उनसे मिली हूँ. But there was some discomfort. I immediately called up my husband and I said, look, I am in this place. I'm sending you my Google location. I don't know what to do, but you just see and let me know what am I supposed to do. So he calls me and says, look, there is a hotel which is 700 meters away. Just try and push the car and be there in the light. At least you'll be close to an airport, to a hotel. I said, oh, wow, brilliant, Jai Guruji. And, I pushed the car along with this gentleman and the driver. And we were still trying to figure out what the problem is and, how do we go about it. I see a gentleman who comes, who had a beard, fair-looking gentleman wearing a stiff white kurta pajama and said, हाँ बेटा क्या हो गया? So I said, uncle मेरी गाड़ी में problem है और हम शनि सिग्नापुर जा रहे हैं दर्शन के लिए. And he pulled a chair, he sat, he asked 3 people to come. He gave me a chair also to sit. I said नहीं मैं तो पहले अपनी गाड़ी ठीक करा लेती हूँ. And in the meanwhile पता नहीं कहाँ से कैसे coordination तो बहुत सारा चल रहा था. So there's this guy who's a mechanic who comes, takes care of my car. Within like 20 minutes, my car was up and about and running. And I was skeptical whether I really want to now go at, night to Sunny Signapur because it was pitch dark and all that. And this gentleman said, नहीं बेटा आप जाओ, आप दर्शन करके आओ, कुछ नहीं होगा, मेरा आपसे वादा है, अब जाओ. And I was like, really? And I said, thank you uncle, आप तो मुझे ऐसे कुछ God जैसे लग रहा है. I told him in as many words and he gave me a smile. And we went and 9 o'clock and we finished the darshan, came back. And, we had a comfortable stay at the hotel in the night. So Jai Guruji for that. And the next day I took a flight. Of course I drove to Bombay, took a flight, came back. So anantam shukrana, lakh shukrana Guruji for being there with me all through, always. And, realize bhi karane ka ki, I am there, do not worry. And, it was a big promise which I wanted to fulfill for my mother. And he helped me doing that. So, anantam shukrana. And thank you, uncle, for listening. And thank you, Sangat, for listening.